Hey everyone, so as you guys know, I'm working on Korra, and here is the main, what I call a camo or a skirt. In the concept art they call it the skirt that she actually wears, and you can see it's in the making. I need to add the fur on, which is right here. I just got this stuff, and I also need to add in the little belt thing. So I bought this navy blue stretchy stuff, which is going to be pretty cool. There's a lot of it there, so I'm hoping that this can also do that little weird blue thing that she has in front. So what I'm going to be doing is basically a speed creation of how I'm doing this. I'm going to be cutting off down the middle so that I have enough because this stuff is quite thick, as you guys can see. It's only about 1 meter long. So I'm going to be cutting this up, splitting it so it's a little bit more thinner like it is in the actual anime or cartoon. Now I'm going to be using hot glue for this next part. Basically, as I said, I'm going to be cutting some areas on the fur itself where I've got fur flying around me. But when you're using hot glue, please be very careful and always have something, to put it down onto. For me, I'm going to put it down this old piece of paper here, so that way if anything does drop, as you guys can see I'm working here on carpet, I'm not going to have much of a problem. Now I'm going to have to leave that sit for a couple of minutes. And while that's doing that, I'm going to start cutting parts of the fur up so that then, I have everything set ready to, boom, go glue style. So now it's time for the hot glue. What I'm going to be doing is that I've got everything sort of set up where I want it to be placed on the actual skirt. I'm going to be taking piece by piece off in a way that it's going to be put to the side so I know where it goes. But I'm going to start with one piece and then add another piece rather than just going boom, ba boom, boom, and then end up with hot glue over the fur. So let's get this done. So there are some areas like over here, down here, and in the corners where they aren't flush, where the actual fur is meeting all together. So what I'm going to do is take little pieces of this and sort of fill in the gaps as best as I can, so that it does give that nice flush, even flowing look. Now everything here is basically covered in fur, but I'm going to unplug my hot glue for the moment and sort of try and show you guys. I'm gonna definitely have to clean this up because there is so much fur just everywhere. But here it is here. Really awesome thus far. That's Korra's little, what I personally call. I'm gonna sort of go on to with the belt part now, and I'm gonna actually attach that to this. I'm still trying to work out how to do it exactly, but I think I sort of have the main concept in mind as to how to do it. But it's gonna be very interesting, so I'll show you guys that in the next couple of seconds. So reels are really helpful because my mistake was I didn't follow a straight line and the other one just ended up not being, right. So I'm gonna try and remake the belt but make it straight, and I'm gonna do that by the use of using a ruler to keep that straight line. So let's have our fingers crossed here. So this is probably the closest I'm going to get to having a straight line. So always make sure you have, a thingamajig in handy. But I'm going to show you guys, kind of sort of, after I get off all this fluff, how I am going to glue this. Not sew it, glue this. So this is very interesting material. I have done this before with hot glue, but it's going to be very tedious to work with. So I am going to try and show you guys as best as I can, despite how low my camera is, that this is how I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna adjust that camera one more time because it just keeps not going in the right place where I want it. And yet again, hot glue. I'm always going to be using hot glue, so this is going to be interesting. So now that my camera is sort of in the right place, sort of, you guys aren't going to be seeing this too great because my tripod isn't the best, but I'm going to adjust it yet again so that you can actually see how I do this, because it's going to be very interesting. A lot of people prefer to use, sewing machines. You'll notice that I go through a lot of glue sticks, so I'm going to have 2 of these ready, pulled out, that way I'm not worrying about them. And also have some Velcro here, because what I will be doing is Velcroing this together when I have it all done and finished. But anyway, that's going to be in a couple of seconds once this hot glue has heated up, and I'm going to now adjust things. Yeah. fingers, as you guys would have seen. I put it down first and I carefully tap into it, just patting it down, and then I, sort of try to even out. But, for something just to do, like that is very easy. Keep in mind, I am using material that doesn't threadbare. This is one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make, is if they are doing hot gluing. If it is a material that does threadbare, you will need to, I'll use this for example. I'll show you guys how to do it. Let's say this is cotton threadbares. If you don't know what threadbaring is, it's where it actually starts to stray, where pieces of the fabric come off. But because it's like some polyester spandexy stuff, I don't have that problem with this. But let's say you do. This is cotton, right? Let's pretend, even though it's really, really dark to see. What I do is I turn the edges in a bit more, and they have this really weird folded look. I'll try and sort of show you guys. So see how it's sort of gone in a little bit like that. It's really, really dark on my camera. Let's just adjust this a little bit. Let's see, can we? No, it's not really, but you can kind of sort of make out that I've put that in, and like if this was cotton, I would put the tabs in and then I would do that. That prevents it from thread bearing on the outside. Hot glue, this is basically what I did with the Twi'lek Dancer, and it does give a nice flush look as well, which kind of sort of might have been what I should have done with this one, but I wanted it to have a look more ragtag, sort of, like, Korra has been out there fighting, because I am doing her from the 4th book, so it would make sense that, her attire isn't entirely neat. How it all sort of looks. You can see that I added in a real stable grip. I've got the 2 up the top and the 1 in the middle. That's because over time Velcro will wear out, and I want to make sure that this is going to be stable through no matter what the hell I go through. So I'll show you guys up close. You can see here how it all sort of looks. Sorry for my shaking hand, but you can see the fur isn't all that flush, but in photos it will look alright. So I am going to put this on with the pants, and although I don't have the shirt yet, but the pants will sort of help make it look alright. So I'll show you guys that in a couple of seconds.